I just wanted to take you on a quick tour of a tool that not everyone is aware of in the Google G Suite called Google Keep. And to get there, you can either point your browser to keep.google.com, or if you're logged in and you come up to the Google Apps menu, many times you won't see it here, but if you click on More, you'll see the little icon there, and then you can click and drag and move the Google Keep icon wherever is a better fit for you. By the way, there's also an Android and iOS app for Google Keep that are really, really handy whenever using Google Keep. So Google Keep is really a place where you can keep notes and keep them kind of organized. And Google Keep takes a wide variety of different kinds of input, so it can be kind of helpful in remembering things. I always think of it being as my offloading things from my brain onto Google Keep so that I have it, but it's not something that I have to keep in my head. So here I am. I'm in my one of my personal accounts, so there's nothing here right now. The interface is pretty simple. Up here, if we click where it says to take a note, I'm given the option to put in a title, and so I would probably use something a little bit more specific than that. And then if I tab down, that takes me to where I can take a note. And so I can start typing in things. Oops. And you can just type out things in your note as needed. There are some tools across the bottom here. The first one is a Remind Me button. And so you can set a reminder for a particular time. So if I want to be reminded of this tomorrow at 8 a.m., I can do that. And then on my computer, on the web page, and on my mobile device, if I have Google Keep installed there, and I've given it permission to send me notifications, I will get a notification. I can also pick a place. And so if I do that, what it'll do is it's going to set what's called a geofence around the location that you choose. So say, for example, I'm going to put Walmart here. And so whenever my phone, which has the Google app on there, and I've given it permissions to know my location, whenever I get close to Walmart, this Keep is going to remind me that I need to look at this particular Keep to see what I need to pick up from Walmart so I don't forget anything. So that can be pretty handy. Next to that, is the Share button. And so if I click on the collaborator, I can then type in anyone's name and share that. The way that this is useful is if you have more than one person who's responsible for getting things from the store, for example, you can share a grocery list between two people. And then that becomes extremely handy because you'll be able to both add to it or take away from the list. And when you go shopping, you'll be able to see the full, complete list there. You can change the color of your note if you'd like. This is all the colors there are. At one point, I tried to organize my notes by color, my keeps by color, and I just ran out of colors really quickly. So now I just will use the colors to put things that are kind of similar together, but I will reuse colors frequently. So I can add an image, and so if I click Add an Image, I can upload an image to my Google Keep. One of the nice things about Google Keep, if I add an image, let's see, it will make the images smaller as I add, but if I click on one, it'll bring it full screen. When I'm finished with a note, I can click the archive, and that's going to send that note to the archive. It will not permanently delete the note. It'll still be available in the archive option over here on the left sidebar, but that can be kind of handy if I need to go back and get something out. but I don't want it on my main screen. I also have undo and redo buttons over here. Now under the three dots menu, I can permanently delete a note, so if I choose this option, then I will not be able to go to retrieve it from the trash. The way that you organize your keep notes are through adding labels. And so I can say grocery. And since I don't have any labels yet, I can just add that. And now that's in a list that I can pull up and add to other notes as needed. And you can apply more than one label, and so you can have a series of labels coming across the bottom here. And this is how you're going to keep your information organized, because you'll be able to come over to the left sidebar here, and you'll be able to pull up all the keep notes that are categorized as grocery, all the ones that are categorized as school, etc. Also, under the three dots, you can make a copy of a keep so that you have two of them. You can also use the show checkboxes, so this is really good on reminder lists and to-do lists. So when I do that, it puts a little checkbox in front of there. And then if I need to, oops, not mild, I need milk. Okay. Evidently I'm getting lots of dairy, so. Okay. And then when I click the check mark in front, it will move down to the completed items. If I want to re-add that back to my to-do list, I can uncheck it and it goes back up to the top as well. Alright. Also under the three boxes, since I added an image that has text in it, I get this option to grab image text. And Google Keep is going to look at the picture, and using OCR or optical character recognition, it's going to try its best to get the text out of that and make it editable. Unfortunately, I think this image, the text is probably a little bit too small. So, but that is an option on images that have larger text in it. And then finally, if I would like this in a more formal document, I could copy my whole note over to Google Docs. And so that's also very handy. Up here in the corner, I have a little push pin. And so if I click on that, this is going to keep the note at the top. So I would do this on notes that I'm going to frequently go back to. And so if I click close, there you can see my pinned notes. If I make another note, it will go under here. Now, I forgot to put a label on this, so I would always recommend that you put some kind of label on each note. And you can create as many labels as you want. Now, because I have my labels over here, I can click on grocery, and it's going to bring up all the grocery labels. I can click on school, and it's going to bring up all the school labels, or anything labeled with school. If I click the edit labels, here I can edit to change any of the current labels that I have. I can delete labels, and I can create new ones. So if I know that, for example, I'm going to go to a conference, I can put in a conference name there so that it's easily added to a Google Keep whenever I'm taking notes in a conference. Here I can get to my archived notes, and then finally here's my trash notes. And anything that goes in the trash or that you say delete, it will stay here in the trash until 7 days, and then they'll be permanently deleted. To go back to my notes, just click on the notes back up here. And if I click on reminders, any note that has one of those reminders attached to it, it's going to appear under the reminders. I can change it to a list view. So if I prefer just to see one long list of notes instead of kind of the square or grid view, I can make those changes there. A new feature that was just added was we can enable dark mode, and so instead of having that bright background, you can have kind of a darker background. And then under settings here, You can choose where new items go, and so right now any new items will be added to the bottom of the list. Checked items will move to the bottom. It's going to display rich link previews. So that means if you type in an address, or if you copy-paste an email address or internet address in there, it's going to give you a little preview of what that web page looks like. You can change your reminder defaults and your sharing if you want that enabled or not. If you need links to get the apps for your phone, those are listed here, but you'll be able to find those in your app store for whatever device you have. So Google Keep is a great way to keep things organized, whether that be websites, notes that you've taken someplace, to-do lists, reminder lists, and it can be accessed in on any mobile device that you happen to have carry around with you. So if you need something to help you organize information or to remember to do things, you should try out Keep.